It's time for Dutch Oven Cooking with Cee Dub. Here's your host, C.W. Butch Welch.
What I did with our crust, we pre-baked this crust earlier this morning, and it's a real simple filling. It's crust. It's 2 cups of flour, 6 ounces of cream cheese, and a cup of butter. And we just roll that out, put it in our pie pan, and baked it in our Dutch oven. You could do this with a store-bought crust if you didn't want to do it, but that's the way we did it this morning. So we're just going to mix our filling up. Going to start with 2 cups of whipping cream. I really didn't need to get that spoon dirty yet, but that'll work. And we're going to start with 4 eggs. Oops. Want to get the shells out. I used to have an old guy I worked for that was trying to convince some guys that they weren't eating powdered eggs. This was on a backcountry trip, and he actually went to the length of taking eggshells from home and putting them in the powdered eggs so he could convince these guys that they were really eating real eggs. So okay, we're gonna just whip those eggs into our heavy cream. And we're gonna take a few ham cubes here, and we could make this, you could do some bacon, sausage, and we don't need a lot of this. And we're gonna put some of that in there. And we got our old dog over here, and she probably needs a Sunday morning treat. Shambo, something to eat? There's some advantages to hanging around the cook shack here. So we're gonna get that in there. We're gonna add a little bit of, I think that's paprika. No, red pepper. Looked like paprika. The label was gone. Gonna put in a little nutmeg. And actually, if you had fresh grated nutmeg would be the best, but we're just gonna keep that stuff whipped in there. And we need just a little bit of flour, a couple tablespoons. And what the wind doesn't blow away, I think made it in there. And just keep whipping this up. A little salt, a little pepper, and I don't use a lot of salt in my cooking. That's something people can add, so we're gonna go pretty light on the salt. And we sliced up for color, some tops off some green onions at home. One of the favorite things we like to add to this is morel mushrooms. We go out and we live in north central Idaho, and there's a certain time in the spring when we can get our mushrooms right behind the house. But you know, just a word of caution, when you're out there gathering fresh mushrooms, make sure you know. You know, if you don't know, don't eat it. And actually all we need left here is a little bit of Swiss cheese that we grated up, and we're just gonna whip all of this in, and then we're gonna go over here to our fire pan. We're gonna bake this in a Dutch oven. And we're using the pie pan in the Dutch oven. We have made this with this same recipe by taking the crust and actually putting it in the Dutch oven and working it up the side. So you can do it either way, but this is kind of fancy, and this way we can put it in the, take it in the house and serve it. And we're just gonna okay, that's about as full as we want that one. Okay, let's just go over here to the Dutch oven. See how good I am at this. We're gonna set that right down in our Dutch. You know, and I picked that up the wrong direction. I need to get things level around here. Need to get my fingers on the side. Okay, there we've got it. We set that on a pie rack in there to get a little heat, to give it a little room there. And so all we're gonna do now is we're gonna take and dump our charcoal out. And to bake this on the bottom, We're using our little patio cooking table built by Woodland Interiors in Nampa, Idaho, and obviously I'm not going to take this when I go horsepacking, but boy, it sure is nice cooking on the patio with it. Just a little bit of heat on the bottom. That crust is pre-cooked. The wind here is going to give us a little bit of a problem. Oop, and I bet you I slopped that in there. That Dutch oven moved a little on me, but we'll make her work. We're just going to go around now, and to bake this, we're going to, we want to spin that lid, make sure we've got a good seal. Take our charcoal, and we're going to go around the top. And that's what we do when we bake, is we get that top, that heat coming around the sides. And this is going to take about 20 to 30 minutes. And of course, every Dutch oven cook knows that wind is his enemy, and we've got a fair amount of wind here today. It's going to do two things. It's going to shorten the amount of time, the usable time we have on our charcoal, but it's also going to, that added air crossing these briquettes is going to probably increase the temperature a little bit. So we're going to put the rest of our briquettes on right here and let that bake, and we're going to come back.